The Chicago Bears view Mike Vrabel as a top candidate for their open head coaching job. So let's talk about Mike Vrabel and the fit here, people. What is going on? Yo, Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, guys, hit that subscribe button down below. Would really appreciate that. So this is coming from Ian, man. Ian Rappaport was on the Rich Eisen show, and he basically said that when talking about the Bears head coaching candidacy, that Mike Vrabel is one of the top candidates, if not the top candidate for the job. Now, this isn't breaking news. Obviously, Mike Vrabel has been linked to the Bears since they fired Matt Eberflus, and he has been linked to a lot of teams, actually, because he is a top head coach in terms of the guys that are available out there. But specifically with the Chicago Bears, does Mike Vrabel make sense? Well, let's talk about Mike Vrabel's resume here a little bit, okay? So 5 seasons with the Tennessee Titans. They went 9-7, 9-7, 11-5, 12-5, 7-10, and then 6-11. Okay? Those were the records. So we're talking about 4 winning seasons in 6 years and 3 playoff appearances. They did make the AFC Championship game in 2019, but lost to the eventual champs in the Kansas City Chiefs. So Mike Vrabel got a lot out of that roster, which wasn't all that great. I mean, yes, you had Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown is a stud, right? But Ryan Tannehill, he's solid, but not elite. So Mike Vrabel did get a lot out of those Titans teams that I never thought were really that good. But then you can also make the counter argument that, hey, is the AFC South really that good, right? It's a pretty weak division. So you had that working with you. And then, just take a look at the fact that with Mike Vrabel, why did he get fired or why hasn't he gotten a job yet? So there's stuff you can, look at on both sides. Here's where I am with Mike Vrabel. You guys know my stance with the importance of an offensive head coach. I have beat that, hopefully, to a drum here with how important I feel like it is to get an offensive head coach for Caleb Williams. Well, if you tell me, Faiz, gun to your head, you have to go with a non-offensive head coach, a defensive guy, who is your guy? And to me, if that is my scenario, again, I'm not happy with it, but if that is my scenario, I'm good with Mike Vrabel. All right, that's the best thing I can say here, because if you bring me Aaron Glenn, you bring me Bill Belichick, well, he's no longer a candidate. He took the UNC job. You bring me Brian Flores. I'm saying no, no, no to all of them. Mike Vrabel is probably the only guy I'm considering that is a non-offensive head coach. And the reason why is, like I mentioned, the resume is solid. And more importantly, I mean, it's no secret. Mike Vrabel, you can look at him and you sense the toughness. You sense the accountability. You sense the sort of Dan Campbell, former player, coaching style, right? Which is guys will respect him. That buzzword that the Bears front office and, ownership has been loving, which is leader of men, right? That's what Mike Vrabel looks like, right? A leader of men, for sure. So to me, one of the things that we're missing here in Chicago is a culture. There's no culture here. There was no culture with Matt Eberflus for the 3 seasons he was here. And we need to establish some sort of a culture of accountability, a culture of excellence, a culture of execution. That is what Mike Vrabel would bring from his perspective. And again, I told you, I still want an offensive head coach. But if there's a guy that is not an offensive head coach that I'd be okay with, it's Mike Vrabel. So to me, he is a guy that would bring that culture, that would bring that leadership, that would bring that coach-player mentality. And I think it could potentially work here. And the fact that, again, he has been a coach in this league, has experience, that also helps. So to me, I'm okay with him being a top candidate for those reasons. Like I said, I'm trying to, be open here. It's so hard for me to be happy with the non-offensive head coach. But, man, you can't help but look at Mike Vrabel and think that this guy is going to, get a culture in here in Chicago, because we're really missing that. This is not a talent issue with the Bears. That's what I feel like people aren't understanding here. This roster is talented. Yes, we have holes, right? The offensive line isn't good. We could certainly use it to help in certain spots for sure, but you have talent on this roster. You just have no accountability. You don't have guys playing hard, and you don't have a culture. You need a coach to come in and be respected by these guys. And that is, I think, the biggest plus point, selling point for Mike Vrabel. Now, again, if we do hire him, he's still going to have to get a top offensive staff in here with a great OC, not Shane Waldron or whatever that disaster was. And, whether or not we have to worry about, well, if the OC is so good, he'll get poached as a head coach. We'll worry about that later, right? Let's just get a good OC in here. So to me, could it potentially work with Mike Vrabel? Yes. There's guys out there, Sean McDermott with Josh Allen. I told you that we've seen defensive head coaches work with elite quarterbacks. But that's how I feel about Mike Vrabel, folks. Not my first choice, but I think I'm okay with it. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts as always. Thanks for watching.